Hello everyone, urban lovers and my new guest here in the YouTube channel. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining in again. It is such a pleasure to be here with you every week. Today, very interestingly, I'm here with the president of the University of Dodoma. He will introduce himself later, but just to let you know, we're here to discuss a lot about leadership, about him as a person, mental health in between, and a lot of that interesting stuff. We'll be here today. And hey, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
God is great. I'm doing great.
Right. Thank you so much for joining in here today. First, I want to tell people who doesn't actually, because the station is being watched from people in different places, different universities. Who is the president?
Actually, it's I.
Okay. It's you, right?
It's I, Trifon Agustin Minuka, and being specific, the president of the University of Dodoma Students Organization, because in our country of ours, we've got only one president.
Sure.
That is Honorable Excellence Samia Suluhu Hassan. So yes, shouldn't be saying just the president, but the president of the University of Dodoma Student Organization. Name of mine is Trifon Agustin Minuka, a fourth-year student pursuing Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering.
Great.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. I would love to know, when did you knew you had a calling in all of this leadership and politics?
It was at the end of first year, like the second semester. Actually, it was during the corona outbreak, like the holiday that we had. Yes, from there, there was a relative of mine that I stayed at his house. And this guy, and his name is Joshua, and he was so obsessed with books, and he was really into leadership issues, like leadership skills. So yes, he introduced me to reading stuff, like reading books, and from there, there are some mentors that I got. The first one being Mars Monroe. Yes, the late Mars Monroe, who was a Bahamian, a ministry, who actually believed that everyone is born a leader. It's just we just delay to reveal or to unleash that potential that we have when it comes to leadership issues. So yes, I noticed that yes, I've got the potential of being a leader, and yes, I've got the qualifications. Then why not giving it a try and put a lot of emphasis on it, like knowing a lot of information. So yes, it was during the holiday, the corona outbreak holiday, that yes, I discovered myself that yes, I should stick with this.
Wow. Have you been a leader before? Leading at the high rank like this, maybe in school or?
Yeah, sure. I was the vice president of the students' government at the advanced level of mine, to Samaganga High School. That is found at Iringa. I was the vice president. And at my ordinary level, I was the general secretary of the students' government.
Wow. How hard is it being a president and a student? Like, do you sometimes go in class as a student now, and people are like, the president is here, the president of, the university?
Yeah, sure. Of course, it's kind of hard to balance, I'll be honest. And there's this thing actually I've been subjected to, like you say, like, yes, I'll balance being a president and being a student. But honestly, it's so hard balancing. But yes, I'm really trying, because what brought me here was school, academic excellence, and through it, that will be the main objective achieved, like having my certificate of completion with fine grades. And from there, definitely the potential of mine will increase, because you won't be just speaking to a leader, but a leader who has already certified a bachelor's degree. So yes, I'm really trying my level best, to maintain the academic excellence. Though being honest, it's so hard.
I can understand leading at the same time being that. What made you run for presidency here? What did you see that you wanted to change or to put in?
Okay, the previous government before mine, the one of 2021-2022, that was led by the former president named Gregory Baliomi. Actually, he appointed me to be a minister. At first, Minister of Residency and Infrastructure. That means I had to serve the whole university as the minister of that ministry. And I got myself exposed, committing myself to the work that I was assigned, being a part of students, to help them to solve the issues that were actually under UDOSO's capacity. So yes, there were some stuff that I noticed, and it brought me a very heavy call that, Trifon, I guess it's time that you should put emphasis more and try to learn a lot of stuff, because depending on the direction that I'm heading to, I really need to expose myself with like a heavy job, a heavy duty. So yes, serving a university like this, having more than 33,000 students, yeah, it's a very heavy job, hectic actually. You're leading undergraduates, you're leading postgraduates. So yes, the call, it was like that. Like, I had to serve, I had to learn. Yes, so that brought an urge of I to contest for the presidential seat.
How is it going? Do you think you're reaching your perceptions as when you were running?
Yeah, being honest, it's going, and it's going very well, I'd say. The challenges are there, because like as a student, I've got my the duties that I should fulfill as a student, but also as a youth, like there are a lot of stuff that I should engage myself into. So sometimes, yes, you lose focus upon the student's government, but you remember the aim and you remember the promises. So yes, you get back into the track with a new energy, and yes, excelling the student's government. So it's going well. Yes, going well.
How do you overcome your challenges?
I'll say books have been my friends.
Right.
My best friends, I'll say. Books and podcasts, like inspirational videos, like I said, that of Miles Monroe, there's Jordan Peterson, yes, Obama. There are a lot of videos that I'm watching that are of them. So whenever I got a challenge, definitely I got a lot of teachers to refer. Got a lot of teachers, of which, yes, through them, like there's this knowledge that I obtain, and yes, I'm overcoming them. Though it's hard because the challenges sometimes they're out of your boundary, I'll say. So sometimes you require patience, sometimes to associate with others, like ask for help. So that's how I overcome the challenges that I face. Like I'm never lonely. Yes.
That's really a nice thing to know. Speaking of you're never lonely, today I wanted to talk to you also about mental health. It has been an issue, an ongoing issue here now and then for a while now. People are suffering from depression, from this, from that. Mental health is an issue. We have heard some cases here and there from universities. For instance, here, people are either committing or attempt to commit a suicide, jumping off the buildings and stuff like that. As a president, what do you have to say about that?
I guess it's a very cross-cutting issue now. It's a global challenge, and I'll say it really depends with the background of a student or a person. Like yes, he or she, from where she was or where he was, like how was he or she subjected to handle various situations. So yeah, sure, I'd say it's a cross-cutting issue. So it's not only found at the university of ours, but also at the university, the country, and the globe at whole. And I would say the main reason it's about the way that us, when we were kids, how we were subjected to handle the situations. A lot of us as youth, while we were young, the only way of fixing us was through strokes and like use of intimidation sometimes. So it reaches a stage that you don't have that someone to intimidate you, like a complete intimidation. You have to handle your own stuff, of which if like you're not associated with cross-cutting issues, knowledge, and subjecting yourself to issues that associate you with others, definitely there's that sense of loneliness that sometimes you fear to ask for help to others. And yes, it has been a great problem, and I'll say there's a need of having a lot of sessions, healthy sessions, for instance like this, like to raise awareness that such kind of a thing they do exist. And so the authority responsible, like the Ministry of Health, and for instance even TCU, because they're concerned with the welfare of students, they should really take a closer look upon the matter. Because yes, as you may have a huge number of students that you are enrolling to the universities, but few of them are graduating or graduating with high marks, and the main issue or the main setback is the mental health. Yes, so there's a really need of having a great concern upon the matter.
Do you sometimes go through that? Do you sometimes go through things and you feel like this is going to mess up with my mental health?
Sure. Actually, I would say I've got a lot of insecurities.
Okay.
I've got a lot of insecurities, and I guess because I'm very, very afraid of making mistakes. Though, you know, as an introvert, it's not good like to be afraid of making mistakes, because through them you're learning. And I guess that has been a really motive that actually serves me from like being a victim of those wrongdoings or doing things that are not right because of being like stressed. So I'll say for a student or for anyone like to be free from such kind of problems, it's better to be conscious and be very careful with what do you subject yourself frequently. Like what do you constantly hear? What do you constantly see? What do you constantly feel? Because those informations received by the sense organs of ours, they actually the information are being sent to the conscious mind, which is brain. And the brain, when the materials continue to be deposited at the brain or the conscious mind, then they become deposited at the heart, which we call in other words the subconscious mind, of which the subconscious mind reveals itself through the attitude. So definitely to save a person from mental breaks, like yes, those impacts of mental health, like he or she should be really careful, like the information that she or he constantly hears. Yes, who do they associate with? Because it really matters when it comes to like building yourself and having that courage of facing problems.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is very, very heavy. Thank you so much for addressing to us about that thing. One last thing, we have these offices that have people who are ready to help students with therapy and stuff like that. We have counselors in colleges, I believe. Do you think students really goes to those people when they are in need of?
Being honest, I'll say the University of ours has put a lot of emphasis upon the matter. Like whenever it happens that a student has got such kind of problems, as you say, there are a lot of units, like the units responsible for such kind of matters, like the social welfare of the students. Actually, I've got a directorate called Directorate of Student Services, which it's distributed to the so-called college wardens, of which those actually they are first counselors and they are first people who would advise us. But being honest, I would say few students will really use them.
Why do you think people doesn't really reach out when they need to?
I guess the first thing that we are suffering from as youth, or the age of ours, it's we really like to solve issues like with our own help, like with our own assistance. Like you are your own advisor, you are your own assistant. And there's really this thing that a lot of students have, I'll say like a phobia, that there's no confidentiality and some stuff like that. But I'll say I actually have been a victim. I remember I was in second semester, if I'm not mistaken. I was subjected to such kind of situation, and yes, thanks be to the college warden of ours, the college warden of College of Science and Engineering. He has been among my best friends, I'll say, in the university. Like yes, a mentor, a teacher, and the issue of mine was solved. And yes, slowly I was healing until now. I guess perhaps without him, like without God using him, I would say I don't think if I would have been here. Wow. So I guess the openness of students should increase. Like, they should trust the authority, because among the issues that a lot of people suffer is just they don't have trust on the authority that they're into. And I'll say, for instance, the moment that fish will disobey the authority of water, like try to get outside of water and have its own life outside of water, definitely will kill itself. So there's a really need of respecting the present authority that you're into. And I guess that is among the knowledge, or let's say the perception that a lot of us students we don't have, but they're really helpful. The counselors that are found in the university of ours.
And I find them very friendly. I don't know why people wouldn't go to them. Thank you so much for being here with us. We really don't have so much time. I really love to have you again next time.
Definitely.
But really, thank you so much for dedicating this time to educate us.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.
Thank you so much, guys. I've been here with the president of the University of Dodoma, Student Organization UDOSO, and we have heard a lot from him, a lot of healthy information we have heard here. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with him, and I would really love to invite him next time. My Instagram, Shesha_Urban. Do you even use Instagram?
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay.
I'm a very active user of it.
Wow. Instagram handle.
It's Tryphon Augustine Minoka.
Tryphon Augustine Minoka, his Instagram handle. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, comment as much as you can. Until next time, bye bye.